All right, Minnesota. Hello, hello. I need a win. So I'm going to get a win today. I'm going to try my best to get a win today and not be too aggressive. And I already did a few things to try to save some time because it's already 4 o'clock Central Time. And this is what I'm looking at. Minnesota. All right, this is going to be my focus. I'm not a big fan of one draw states, although I'll give you that. There are some benefits because when you're looking at different filters, you can be like, this is what I'm looking at. I don't have to look at the mid and then the eve and then the mid and then the eve because they both, combine because they do have benefits when you're doing that. Okay, check this out. We have two doubles. So, you know what? I'm going to say today there's going to be a single. We'll just start at that. I think there'll be a single today. And then if you look at the pairs, okay, the single box pairs, there has not been a pink in 2 draws, and you'll notice that the pink goes out 3. Doesn't typically go out for too long. There's some spots though where it drops out, so that's something to look at. But for now, I'm not going to pay too much attention to that. I will say that there hasn't been a purple. Okay. What other color? A purple or a green in a while in the 0 to 3 category, and it's been out 2. Vtracs, looking at the Vtracs and the Atracs. Probably one of those will be hitting here soon, so I'm going to look at those. Maybe. And I already did put it in there, so I'm going to look at that today. At least I'll start off with some of that. So, but before I do that, I want to show you something else. So this is the root sums, okay, based on the actual pattern number itself. Remember, here's the pattern number right there. Okay, and here is the pattern number of the SBP. If you go over here, this is the SBP right here. This is the SBPP pair patterns. Okay, so when you look at this chart, first let's just look at the SBP. Okay, you're going to notice that there has not been a high odd since 423, and you're going to notice that the high odd drops a lot. Okay, drops quite often. And see, now let's take a trip over to the chances chart, and you'll notice that the high odd is the top one that is due. Okay, the most due pattern. Now, what you can do, there's only 4 of them. Okay, because we're looking at just in general for the SBP. Okay, but when you go to the root sums, or when you go to the different filters, you go down to member filters and you go down to single box pattern, that is the SBP. But if you go to SBP RS, high, low, even, odd, this is what I'm showing you right now. There's only 4 of them, okay? And that's basing it off of the pattern number itself. So go to most recent draw and go to 1 week, because you can't go, 20 days, 30 days, because they're all used, because it just doesn't, because there's only 4 of them. So, but check this out. At 1 week, the high odd has not hit. It has not hit in 7 days. If you go to 10 days, you'll notice it did hit. And if you go to 14 days, obviously it hit. Okay, so you can't go you do a week. Okay, it hasn't hit. So that's a good one to focus on. And what's nice is, check this out. You go to numbers by options. It's only 210 straights. That's all it is. That's going to hit. As long as I got that right, I'm pretty sure I have that right. There's only 210 straights in that, because there's 210 here, 150 here, 180 here, because I'm not doing doubles. This isn't doubles, okay? And 180 there. So you got 180, 180 plus 150 plus the 210. Yeah, so there's only 210 straights in here. So that's a nice pool to fish from. And here's the cool part about this. So I said the high odd is due on the chances, and then it is due on the frequency chart. But now let's go back to most recent draw by option, and then we're going to change this. I'll show you this. Look at the high odd, okay? So I'm going to change this to, like I said last night, this sometimes can be a little bit not as accurate. It's accurate, but it's not as telling as some of the other filters that have more options, like the SBP in general or stuff like that. So let's just do this. Descending 1 week. Okay, high odd. Now watch this. We're going to go out to 8 weeks. High odd is in second place. We're going to go to 12 weeks. High odd is in first place. We're going to go out to, let's go out to 3 months. High odd is in first place. We're going to go to 6 months. High odd is in first place. We're going to go to, whatever, year. High odd is in first place. See what I'm saying? So it's like, it's consistent. High odd is in the top in 3 years. So it's like you can find consistency in them, and then obviously they're going to start to kind of blend together here when you get top. But look at it's still the top 6 years out, 480 compared to 332 for the high even. Hits more. It just does. 8 years. Look at that. 646. Freaking almost an entire 100 more than second place. And that's actually a lot when you think about what you're looking at. So, I mean, this is based on the pattern numbers, not the actual draws, remember? Okay. So you just go from 8 years, because you can't go any further than that on this site, but you can go 8 years, 7 years, 6 years, 5 years, all the way down to a month, or get down in the weeks if you want to see which ones hit the most. And like I said, it's not as telling a lot of times on this as it is on other stuff. Like if you go over to the SPBP, just the pair patterns themselves, now you're going to see this. You see 8 years, you got 12. Pattern 12 is sitting up there at the top with 107 hits. 14 with 104, see that? And then you get all the way down to 6, has only got 69. Okay, what's nice too is you can just start dropping this down and seeing which ones, are consistently pull, trying to find a, what I'm saying. So, but anyway, so you can jump around to other states, and here's another one draw state and see what's going on. But look at this one. 6 is at the top for the state. So, so there will be some though, like some of them be completely opposite, but there will be some patterns that are pretty consistent, in that top 5. Okay, pretty much across all states, which is really cool because it can tell you a lot. Like when you're looking at that and you're like, okay, one of these top 5, you do your research and you're like, you got the top 5 or so, top 6 patterns out of 24, and you're like, one of these hit pretty consistently. What you can do with that information is you can look at the charts, the SPBP chart, and you can say, all right, so pattern 4, let's just pretend pattern 4 is one that hits quite often. It hasn't hit in, whatever, how many draws. Instead of just singling out one, do like pattern 4 and 2, 3, and 4 are top ones, just for example, and they haven't hit in a while. One of them is going to come back soon. And that works the same thing for the pair patterns too. You can do the exact same thing. Like for Minnesota, I've already looked at it. In the first position, pattern 1 and pattern 9 are a couple of the top ones. Well, pattern 1 just hit here, but pattern 9 hasn't hit in a while. Pattern 9's right there. Pattern 9's right there. Pattern 1's right there. 1, 9, 1, 9. Right? So if you think that 9's going to come back here soon, and 9 is in the blue, okay? So let's say you think 9's going to come back. Well, then you can jump over to the information page, pattern information page, go down to number 9 on the chart right there. So it's these are boxed, so it can come 06 or 60, 23 or 32 or 89 or 98, right? But you can copy that, okay? And then you could copy that and put it in the slasher, but you have to remember that now you have to work on according to this, not that, like I keep saying. So if you think the pink is going to drop, let me just show you examples. So did I copy that right there? Sorry about any background noise. My kids are playing some games, and sorry about that. So let's just go over here and so now we're going to do add all numbers, and then we're going to do, you added all numbers, but I'm going to still do pairs AB boxed, because it's going to take these 3, for example, and do 06 in every other way. But see, so it'd be 06 and it will be 602. Okay. So, which is pretty cool. There you go. 60 straights. If you think that pattern 9 is going to hit soon on the front, which I guarantee it's going to hit soon. And when it does, it will be 100% one of these right here. So that's a nice pool to fish from, straights. And now you're not going to play all 60 of these. You can go in what keys are due. Like right now, key 7s do, right? Key 6 is actually due on the front, you know, and then key 7 is actually due. So if you think key 7 is going to hit, or oops, sorry, let's just say you think key 7 is going to hit because it's yellow. Let's say key 7 is going to hit, and we pattern 9 is going to hit on the front. You're down to 6 numbers straight. You see that? And if you think it's going to be that 6 which is due, boom, 607 tonight, Minnesota, 607. How nice would that be? I don't know why my mic keeps changing the volume and all that crap. I'm sorry about that. I'm a cat in a hat rhyming. But so that's what I'm thinking. I'm not saying that this is going to hit tonight, but I'm just saying if that 9 hits and that 6 hits on the front, it has to hit. That's what it would be. Okay, so that's an interesting set of numbers right there, right? But here, let me show you now. Let me go back to that's just a way you can look at this. Do your research for your state. Find out what your state likes in this each column. You know, write down the 8-year all the way down to 1 month. You know, and then you know you'll have like write down the top 10. Okay, and then after you're done doing that, you'll have it side by side like that. 8 all the way down to a month, 8 years down to a month. Then take a highlighter and highlight the top ones that are the top 2 or maybe the top 3, but more maybe the top 2 or even the top 1. And the one that's across the board, you're going to find one probably pattern that will be in every single column, which is huge. If it's in the top 3 in all the time periods, that's telling. That tells you that it hits and it's consistent. So that's what I'm going to do for all these positions soon. But I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to go over here to the new charts that I have, and I'm going to break this down. I'm going to go by each position, and I'm going to find out what they all like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty excited about this. So I'm going to do A, B, B, C, and AC. And sorry, I'm getting some text here. And I'm going to see what each one likes, you know, what the AB likes, low even or low odd or high even or high odd. And so I know when it's out for a while, just like I know that the high odd is the top hitter in the SBP. So when that's out for a while, I know it's going to come back. I know it's going to come back. And it ain't going to be long. And it's due. And it'll probably hit tonight. And if it don't, now the stock even goes up higher. You know what I'm saying? So just you have to just stick with it. And that's what I'm going to do. But I have a notebook now. I'm gonna start writing down things what I'm thinking, so I'm not like scatterbrained so much. I'm gonna focus on certain things. But let's get back to Minnesota tonight. So, like I said, I think that high odd is probably gonna hit. So what I did is I took that high odd. Let me bring it over to the slasher, and I already dropped it in here. See, I got 2 slashers open. That's one we just did an example on. But here I did one, and you're gonna notice I dropped that in there right there. High odd SBP. I just put that in there afterwards so I know what it is. And there it is right there. Okay. And then I selected these numbers. These are ones that I ran through filters, and I got rid of a few different things like, you know, all spike I think was hitting. Let me see. I had a couple things I did over here. A lot of odds I did a few different things here. I look at all even and all odd. I got rid of that. And I look at even, odd, odd. I'm thinking today is going to be a mix in that first position. Like I think it will be even odd or odd even. And I got rid of the 10 and the 64 pair sum because, you know, I can't even find one that goes back to back. So I got rid of that. I didn't mess with the 1-2 sums, even though I knew that was probably going to flip, and it did flip. I didn't mess with, I did take away the 3 on the end on the 1, 2, 3 pattern. I didn't mess with any of this. Didn't mess with this. Didn't mess with the highs and lows. That's what I did. And I also did the lowest winning digits 0, 1, 2, or 3. And I got 232 numbers straight. I took those. I just did it on straight today instead of box. So I brought that over to here and I dropped it in there. That's what you're looking at there. And I selected the pink, but it didn't mean nothing. That was because the pink wasn't used, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't change nothing anyway today. And then I did the high odd here. And then what you're seeing here, the Atracs, right here, this column of Atracs. And then I also selected this column of Vtrac. So I think that one of these will hit today. And if it doesn't, then I will lose. But this dramatically brings down my numbers. So this is my base today. Okay, this is my base. Sometimes this will be my base. Sometimes, the base will be, something else. Like I said, a 9 over here, or it will be something in maybe 1 to 5 different SBPs. That will be my base. Each one of these only has 5 numbers in it boxed. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 numbers to start with if you're picking 5 of them. But even if you pick 10 of them, start with 50. Start with 50 numbers if you think it's going to be a single, right? Start with 10 of these and start dwindling that down, cutting that down to a reasonable amount of numbers to then convert to straight. And then you can try to get a straight win. So, and then today, like I said, first of all, let me show you that Vtracs here, what I'm doing. I think I left the chart open so I could show you. So that is Wisconsin. So I must not have left that open. I'm sorry. I really want to leave that open so I could show it to you. But let me just go to this now to show you what I did quickly. So I went to Vtracs, just like I did last night with pick 4. I've been getting a pick 4 down to like under 50. Okay. Here's what you do. Boxed. So picks, here you go. Singles box, you go Vtrac singles box, most recent draws by option. You do numbers. And now we have to make sure we change this so it's not descending. You do no sort. And then you're going to drop this down to anywhere between 10, 20 days, sometimes 30, because this is a single draw state. We're going to do 20. So this is what you got right here. So if you want to be even more conservative, drop in the 10 if you wanted to. But that's, a lot. So just, one of these is going to be hitting here. I mean, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's at the 20-day mark. Watching you go up just 10 days. Took away some already. Go up to 60 days once. Took away all of them. They don't last long. Okay. 10 days, you have a little bit better chance, but more numbers. So I'm going to just drop. That's what I dropped right there. I took these Vtracs and I just went over here and I just, and you can see what I did. I just dropped them in here. I put Vtracs numbers boxed, added it. I put in those Vtracs. I did the exact same through Atracs, but since the Atracs is not up inside here anywhere, I just copied them over there. Remember how you can copy them? You can just go right here to reduce numbers by options. In this case, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it does. Sometimes you got to be careful when you look at this. But in this one, there's 8 in each one of these. You're just going to collect these and go and put them over there. That's what I did. And I got rid of the percentages just to show you. So it looks a little cleaner. So I collected those. But now you're going to notice that I got rid of the select Atracs. I made sure that these were together with these. So that's not like, hey, it has to be this. And then on top of it has to be this. That would have gave me like nothing, like 2 or 3 numbers. But I don't want to do that because I want to say that one of these Atracs or one of these Vtracs is going to hit. So one of these numbers, right? So that's what I got. And that's what I got straight right there. So these are my straight numbers tonight from Minnesota. And like I said, 7 is due. If you go to the general filters or the standard filters, whatever, same thing pretty much. Go to sums. Here's the sums that I do, 22 and 14. That 14 sticks out there for sure because that won't last much longer. Out 31 draws. 16, 18. You can play these 20s, whatever, but they're definitely going to hit. I mean, that 22 ain't going to last much longer either, probably. Gosh, I don't know why my mic goes in and out like that. I'm sorry. If it gets louder and quieter, I'm very sorry for that. So, but let's go to general keys. So this is what I like to look at. Boom, look at that, out 7. Remember, this is a 1-draw state, so it means a little less, means a lot less, because then in a 2-draw state, that's only out, 5.5 days. I guess that's, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So like I have it set in my alerts, that, like Minnesota will hit, when this is up to like 15, 16, 17 draws, but that's 7. Okay, fine. It's yellow. I'm going to possibly put all my eggs in that basket. Maybe that's what I'm trying not to do. But, if I was to do that, I mean, that only gives me, what does that give me? There's not that many options there, right? It's not that many options. There's no 6 to be found. The 6 is due on the front. It's been out for a long time. If I filtered everything correctly, hopefully I did, I'll get a win today, but I'm still working on it to make this even less, I don't know. I got stuff I want to show, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. But so this is what's doing on the front, right? So maybe that's 7. Maybe that 7 will drop today. Maybe that's 741. That's 12. That's what I thought was gonna drop yesterday. I said 12 yesterday, and sure enough, 12 did drop, but it was a dumb double again. Screwed me over because I really knew that some 12 was gotta hit soon, and it did. Unfortunately, I missed it. So, but that's what I'm looking for right there for straights. If you think it's gonna be a 7, it's only a couple options. And then if you think what you can look at in that general, let me go back to this. So that 0 is getting up there. It's like one I like to. Everybody likes to watch too. And since a double just hit, you know how the 0 likes to be, right? Likes to drop after doubles. So there's a couple zeros in there too. You know, a few of them in there. If you go over to the inspect and check out Minnesota, you got Vtracs. This 1 symbolizes a 4. No, I'm sorry. It symbolizes a 0 and a 5. So this 1 symbolizes a 0 and a 5. And you see it's been out 3, been out 3, been out 1, 1. Doesn't normally stay out too long. So a 0 or a 5 will probably be hitting soon. Let's just say you think the 0 is going to hit, right? Then that's what you would have right there, one of these. If I have the right stuff set up here tonight. So tonight, one of these has to hit, all right? And then also on top of it, one of the high odd has to hit. So there's a little bit riding on that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit riding in my filtering. So, but I didn't do a general key in here. So hopefully I did it a little bit better. But I still like the ones with the 7. That's the one I'm going to put a little bit more money on. You can look at other positions if you want to, or the highs and lows, and see what's going on there too, like D-Love does. You know, like I have that open here, I think still. I keep that open. Yeah, so here, Minnesota, even odd chart. I always keep this open. And I like how it's upside down like this. So you can look at the 50-day chart, go back like 10, 20 days and find like patterns in here. You know, like yesterday I should have known that even was due. It was so overdue. And then the odd hit. I've heard D-Love and other people talk about that. I wish I would have just thought about that more. I did think about an even hitting though, but I missed it. But anyway, so today I'm thinking an odd even or an even odd. So it's like, which one's it going to be? You know, just looking at it quickly. I don't have Chrome, so I can't highlight whatever. So I'm thinking like, look at the odd even here, 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 the odd even here. So maybe that odd even drops in. So odd even what? You know what I'm saying? So odd even something. So maybe odd even. Let's go look at the C position, see what is due in that C position. What's getting up there? 0, 4, 7, 9. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna shut this video off. That's what I'm thinking for today. I got some other things I want to show later. Don't forget these too. These are interesting. This was just a quick little. I mean, if we did this, let's say if we did this, what if we took these and we dropped it in over at the other slasher? What would that do for us? Let's do that. We don't even have to do any of that. Let's just copy and paste it right there. What would that give us? 329. Is that the winner tonight? Wouldn't that be awesome? So if a 9 hits on the front and then everything else is right, then yeah. So don't forget that number maybe, huh? But let me just slash that back to that. So that number is there. And those numbers there for straights tonight. That's what I'm thinking. So, and the 7 is due. Very due. Or getting up there, I should say. And 6 is due on the front. So there's a 6. There's the only 6 on the front. So 25 minutes. Sorry, I just really wanted to get this to 12 minutes. So this is from Minnesota. And I got some other stuff I could show you too later. Like, for instance, this, whatever. I'll talk about that later. So I'm going to shut this off. So let me just do it one more time right there for straights and there for straights. So, all right.